This Panama Canal situation keeps getting stranger and stranger, and let me tell you why. I'm sure a lot of you heard the president proudly tell us that the Panama Canal once again belongs to the U.S.
To further enhance our national security, my administration will be reclaiming the Panama Canal, and we've already started doing it. Just today, a large American company announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal and lots of other things having to do with the Panama Canal and a couple of other canals.
Now, I'm sure you also know that the big company the president is talking about is none other than BlackRock. Now, apparently, Larry Fink called Donald Trump to directly pitch this deal, and he seems rather happy about it as well. In a statement, he said, "This agreement is a powerful illustration of BlackRock and GIP's combined platform and our ability to deliver differentiated investments for clients. These world-class ports facilitate global growth." As you can imagine, this immediately started a debate online between people who say the president made a smart choice and the people who remember Lahaina and North Carolina disasters and are simply disgusted by BlackRock. Now, if you're a regular viewer of this channel, you already know what I think about BlackRock. I mean, I made a video only a couple days ago telling you why BlackRock might be the most evil company on the planet, and I've reported time and time again why I think that. Albemarle Global, which holds mining rights to these huge mining fields near Kings Mountain, has received huge investments from both BlackRock and Vanguard. And you can confirm it through the NASDAQ site, which shows that both of these investors hold about 24 million shares of the chemical company out of a total of 108 million. You can't even make this stuff up. No matter which tragedy you investigate, BlackRock and Vanguard are going to be there and they'll be making money from it. If you don't believe me, just look at Lahaina, Maui, and how one company completely destroyed so many lives and paved the path for the biggest land grab in recent memory.
Basically, you know, a comedy of errors. And then let's talk about Hawaiian Electric. The power went down in the morning, but then mysteriously somehow it went back on in the afternoon, and that's when Lahaina Town, that's when transformers were literally, utility poles were falling into gas stations. And once the propane tanks started going, because every restaurant in Lahaina has propane tanks, there was explosion after explosion is what I've heard. And then the harbor diesel caught on fire and that blew up too. So the down power lines, in my humble opinion, are the biggest thing to blame here, and the fact that the power was still on or there was residual charges in the power lines.
And who owns shares for Hawaiian Electric? You guessed it, BlackRock and Vanguard were the ones behind that company as well. However, I also believe in a fair conversation, so I'll show you what the people on both sides are saying. In an X post, influencer MJ Truth Ultra wrote, "Here is what everyone is missing. The U.S. government couldn't directly undertake the $23 billion deal to buy the Panama Canal ports because of legal limits under the Torrijos treaties, which gave Panama sovereignty over the canal and its assets since 1999. This BlackRock deal was a private commercial transaction, and only with a firm like BlackRock, who has the financial resources and flexibility, could make it happen. Unlike the government, which would face budget and congressional hurdles that would take years. President Trump, I'm 100% sure, encouraged BlackRock to lead the deal. Look, he's not wrong about the treaty because it does not allow the U.S. to just go there and take control of the canal. Someone had to buy the ports. And he's also not wrong that Congress would likely not have agreed to pay for this kind of purchase. So there's a chance Donald Trump could only do it by shaking hands with the devil. However, this does not take away from the fact that we just shook hands with the devil and handed him control of such an important waterway. So I kind of understand why a lot of people are posting stuff like this. It's a little messed up that I think I might actually trust China more than BlackRock. Now, I think that luckily Donald Trump has people like RFK Jr. around him to remind him just how messed up BlackRock really is, but not gonna lie, I'm concerned by this whole deal. I mean, if tomorrow we take over a part of Greenland, are we gonna let BlackRock own a bunch of land there? Now, Now, interestingly, the president of Panama did not like how Donald Trump said that we have reclaimed the Panama Canal and called President Trump a liar.
The president also said that the United States was reclaiming the Panama Canal. The president of Panama this morning, or at some point today, said that President Trump was lying. Wanted to get your response to that, and also curious if the president had a reason for not specifically mentioning BlackRock last night when he was praising the company that is buying canals or ports around the Panama.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Panama has seen what's going on with their own canal, but as you just mentioned, BlackRock is now interested in investing and taking over the two ends of the port, which is very important because the president was very vocal several weeks ago about the need to ensure that China is not controlling the Panama Canal. This is a very important place for the United States of America. We also saw that the Panama Canal lifted fees on our U.S. naval ships that are going in and out of the canal. That's a win for the United States of America, and the president will continue to ensure that the Chinese government, the CCP, cannot be infiltrated in the Western Hemisphere, and certainly not in the Panama Canal, which is a very important place for our country.
I mean, he's not wrong, and we only bought the ports, but if you know anything about BlackRock, you must know they're slowly going to take over more than they told you about, and there's nothing you can do about it, unfortunately. Now, moving on, I want to talk about this huge update in the investigation surrounding Thomas Crooks and Ryan Ruth. Apparently, the president has been listening to people like you and I and has finally decided to reveal the truth.
It's been 7 months. Why do you think we don't know more about the guy who shot you in the ear?
Yeah, oh, well, and the second one with all of his cell phones. So I want to find the answers. I've told them. In fact, today I said, I want to find, we can no longer blame Biden for that one. He should have released that a long time ago. So they are giving me a report next week sometime, and I do believe I'll be releasing. I want to release the report. A lot of people have asked that question. You had one who had 3 apps, 2 of which were foreign, supposedly, and who has the biggest white shoe law firm in Pennsylvania, even though they don't live in necessarily a white shoe area. What's that all about? His law, the law firm. The other one had 7 or 6 cell phones, and I don't have 6 cell phones. And why would somebody have 6 cell phones? So we're going to be releasing a report on that soon, Peter.
Now, since we're trying to reveal the facts, I would love to know if Ryan Ruth really visited Fort Liberty on multiple occasions, and if he did, what was the purpose of these visits? Next up, I want to talk about another interesting story. Hunter is apparently in so much debt that he's asked the court to drop his own lawsuit against a former Trump aide.
Hunter Biden asked a judge to dismiss a lawsuit he brought against one of the top disseminators of his laptop's data, saying he no longer has the financial resources to continue litigation.
Now, interestingly, this Trump aide is the one whose organization released all those files of Hunter Biden doing insane stuff while under the influence of God knows what. And even though he's saying that he's dropping the lawsuit because he can't afford the legal fees, I think he's doing it because he wants people to forget about what he did. And since he has immunity, he doesn't care what people may find on him anymore. Still, it's good to know that someone like Garrett Ziegler doesn't have to deal with this BS anymore because his only crime was telling the truth. Next up, I want to talk about Justin Trudeau, who broke down on live television.
On a personal level, I've made sure that every single day in this office, I put Canadians first, that I have people's backs. And that's why I'm here to tell you all that we got you. Even in the very last days of this government, we will not let Canadians down today and long into the future.
This happened only a day after he gave this fiery speech and threatened the U.S.
At the same time, they're talking about working positively with Russia, appeasing Vladimir Putin, a lying, murderous dictator. Make that make sense. Canadians are reasonable, and we are polite, but we will not back down from a fight.
If he wasn't so entangled in the whole World Economic Forum mess, I might actually feel bad for the guy, because it's clear that Donald Trump has ended his entire legacy. And as for President Trump, he's still more than eager to make Canada the 51st state.
Sure. Well, the president put that in his True Social account, or his True Social post earlier today. He feels strongly that it would be very beneficial for the Canadian people to be the 51st state of the United States. They wouldn't be paying for these tariffs. They'd have much lower taxes if they were part of our great country.
Another story I want to share with you involves a bunch of astronauts. I'm sure you know that a couple of NASA astronauts have been stuck in space for quite a while. Well, recently Elon Musk told us that he actually tried to bring them back, but the Biden administration stopped him. In a post on X, he said, "The astronauts were only supposed to be up there for 8 days and now have been there for 8 months. SpaceX could have sent up another Dragon and brought them home 6 months ago, but the Biden White House, not NASA, refused to allow it. President Trump asked to bring them back as soon as possible, and we are doing so." Now, usually the mainstream media would call him a liar and bury the story, but unfortunately the astronauts confirmed this themselves in a recent press conference.
My question relates to Elon Musk has said that he made the offer to bring you guys back earlier and that it was denied. My first question is that true? And if so, what would that have looked like? Was he offering to make another flight, push seats on another flight? Could you give us some background there?
I can only say that Mr. Musk, what he says is absolutely factual. We have no information on that, though, whatsoever. What was offered, what was not offered, who it was offered to, how that process went. That's information that we simply don't have. So I believe him. I don't know all those details, and I don't think any of us really can give you the answer that maybe that you would be hoping for.
I wonder why Biden, or more accurately his handlers, said no. Are these astronauts on some secret mission that they were trying to hide? Let me know what you guys think. Also, I really want to know what your thoughts are on this BlackRock situation. You guys know what BlackRock has done to this country over the years, and I want to know how you feel about this. So share your thoughts in the comments down below. See you on the next video.